Alright, so we are back again at Krispy Kreme with my opinions put in a tier list format. Now, for those of you that haven't been here before, you really need me to explain to you how a tier list video works? Well, anyways. S tier is for besto of the besto. F is for bad. And C is for neutral. Basically, C isn't like good or bad, it's neutral. A lot of people believe that anything below an A or B is bad. Now, C is neutral. And with that, let's get started. All of these lovely peg knights. A majority of them probably peg their lovers. Alright, so we're going to start off with Sheeta, or Sita, Kaida, whatever the hell you pronounce her name. The OG gets my respect. I'd like to hope that in the year of our Lord 2021, we have gotten away from thought jokes with this woman, and instead appreciate how much of a badass leader, fighter, and wife this woman is. Her personality is very nice, she's very charming. Her relationship with Marth is cute, alright? It doesn't have to be complicated, it's cute, it's nice. And she's also an absolute god on the battlefield. Seriously, like, who the hell looked at her in Fire Emblem 1, and then when Shadow Dragon came around went, yeah, let's give her a busted personal weapon too, why not? So, the OG has a solid presence. I like her a lot, and you should too. Quite solid. Paula! I like Paula. She's the mom sister of the White Wing group, which is, really, now that I think about it, the White Wing's been done what, like 4 times, 5 times if you count Marcia, Tanth, and Sigrun? I guess the mom's one's always nice. Paula also has that relationship with Minerva, more so than the other two, like they all are friends with Minerva. But Paula is like Minerva's right-hand woman. And that relationship is nice to see. Her being the mom is really nice. I don't know what the hell goes on with that whole thing with her and Abel. I don't know where that came from. But other than that, Paula's really nice, really sweet. Not, like, groundbreaking, but not everyone has to be. Catria! I have a buddy who is obsessed with this woman. He knows who he is, and by God, is his thirst for this woman impressive. I could be in a desert without nary a drop of water and not compete with his thirst. But regardless, Catria is also nice. The stern, serious one is probably my favorite of the 3 types. You know, you got the bubbly one, the stern one, and the mom one. As you'll see on this list, the stern one is usually my favorite, with one exception, really. And there's not much else to say. Again, they're an Archanea character. The White Wings did get a fair amount of characterization, much more so than can be said of Archanea characters like fucking Dolph or Marcellin. And the one thing that's really weird is her one-sided crush on Marth is like, Heroes and the fandom makes it out to be way more important than it actually is. I don't even think it's fucking mentioned in anything but her epilogue in Fire Emblem 3. And that's it. It's not as important to her. Her character's actually a very nice, stern, middle one. And I like that. Very nice. I like Catria. Solid. Good job. Nice. Esto! Yeah, this one... Ooh, I can get some flack for this one, but when has being garbage ever stopped my opinions? Do I really want to go so far as to say E? I gotta put her in D. Now let me explain to you why. I would have put Est in B like the rest of her sisters if New Mystery didn't exist. Because Est's character is, she's the weakest of them all, she's the youngest, she wants to prove herself, but she keeps getting kidnapped because she's in over her head. That's understandable. At the end of Fire Emblem 3, she runs away. She doesn't want to be a burden anymore to anyone, so she goes off to find her own sense of purpose, grow stronger, and that's fine. Like, literally, that was fine. That's a fine character arc. It's understandable. The problem is New Mystery expands upon it and doesn't expand upon it well for her. Her original character is... She just leaves Abel because he's always saving her. She's just the damsel for him to save. And that's it. They never go into it too much, so you can assume, like, oh, Abel probably missed the point. He was like, blah, blah, blah. In New Mystery, they make Abel way too caring. Like, yeah, he's missing the point. He doesn't quite get why Estes upset. But he puts every fucking bit of effort he has into figuring out what's wrong. He is trying his hardest, because he knows Estes lying to him when she says everything's alright. He has to go to Martha and be like, hey, what the hell's going on here? And she's like, oh, everything's fine, and she still lies to him. Like, it's no longer Abel missing the point. It's now Es just won't fucking talk to him about her problems, despite how much he's trying to help. That makes Abel better. Like, I feel terrible for Abel. I like him a lot more because of that. But Es just seems, I guess, immature, and she's young. I get that, but there's a limit to how much you can get away with the excuse of immature because you're young. When someone is trying their hardest to reach out to you, and you're still like, I don't fucking know. Like, come on. Come the fuck on. That's my problem with Est. New Mystery ruins a lot of things from Mystery of the Emblem. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion. Est is one of them. But I'll give Est credit. She is not murdered from New Mystery as bad as Marth is.
Yeah. After all, why not? Why shouldn't I keep it?
Give her that. Clair! I like Clair. Being a Gaiden character, her character was none. Echoes gave her a lot of character. She's witty, she's sassy, but still, like, she manages to be this witty, sassy young woman, but still maintain that sort of dainty elegance as well. Her jabs at Fernand are really good in the DLC. Her supports with Gray are really good and kind of poke fun at the idea of, oh, you just talk to someone a lot of times, oh, now you're in love, that Fire Emblem likes to do, without ever actually thinking. That whole, like, her talking shit to Gray is amazing. I love both of them. Other than that, I mean, if there's anything holding her back, it is kind of that, like, oh, all these ladies got the hots for Alm, ooh. And, like, yeah, Claire falling to that's kind of... I mean, it's not bad, it's not that distracting. I don't know. Why couldn't we have someone like Delphia that falls for Clive? Clive's cool, too. It's not all Alm. Like, Luthea's right there, Claire. You're gonna thirst after Alm when you got Lou? Go to Lou, come on. But, yeah, it's one minor hiccup. Other than that, she's good. And even then, that's not really that distracting at all. It's just like, I'm giving opinions here, and I'm gonna give my nitpicks, even if they're not that major. Fee! She exists? That's also Fury and not Fee. Fuck it, I've decided I'm doing Fee now. Fee! I like Fee a lot. She is the sassy and witty one, which is fine. Normally it's not my favorite, but like I really like her story with Ced. Her duty as like she has to find Ced because Fury's fucking dead. Rest in pieces. And that gives like a nice reason for her to be there. I love her and Arthur to pieces. In Gen 1 of FE4, I have some like most of my pairings are rather untraditional compared to the standard. But for Gen 2, I'm a fucking sucker for the heavily implied ones. Fee and Arthur are like one of the most obvious ships of that generation. I'd probably say the second most obvious ship besides Larcey and whichever sibling you don't murder. But I love them. They're great. Fee's great. Super likable, super cheery. Yeah. Not a whole lot else to add, but go Fee. Fury, though. I mean, I'm not Fawful, so I don't have that much Fury, but Fury's okay. When you think of genealogy characters that are, like, kind of just there, Fury feels like that. Like, she's looking for Lewin. Okay, there's her crush on... maybe not crush. I don't remember if she has a crush on him. I don't think she does. She does. I don't know. Who cares? There's just... She doesn't have a lot of interesting dialogue, which is weird considering her sister gets fucking gunned down in the streets of Miami. You'd think that'd be really interesting, but that affects Lewin more than her. And it's like Lewin's big character moment. Fury's alright, like, she's not bad. But I just don't think there's too much to her. Like, she exists to further Lewin's growth. And she does that job well. Lewin is one of the best characters in FE4, but, maybe I'm being harsh on her. I don't even fucking know your name. Fema? Femina? Substitute I've never used before. You get neutral by default. Karen! I liked Karen. She's kind of like Fee, if Fee had less screen time and writing. So, same thing. She has a very strong purpose. Her conversation with Zed's very nice. She's, spunky, but just doesn't have as much going for her as Fee. Not a whole lot I can say, but I like Karen. Why do I feel like I called her something different at the start of this? Alright. Oh no, you're feminine. I didn't get you in Thracia, but I know what you are. I like her a lot. I don't know if I put her in A. B, sure. Misha! Misha? Was that your name? Probably. I'm willing to bet. I didn't go A route in my playthrough with Thracia, but I like the whole, like, fucking kill me, bastard, and Leaf's like, no. You will stop being bad, and you will do good as consequence for doing bad. I like that. Solid character. Shame I missed out on her in my playthrough, but that's what you get. Shauna! I'm gonna put her in B. Again, she's the spunky one. You know, we've seen a lot of those. I do like that her supports are, like, mostly with gruff men. That's, like, that a Sunshine character like this would not really be with. Like, Lot, Dick, Zealot. It's all really nice, really cute. Doesn't have much of a backstory at all, but, you know, she's like, what, 15, 16, maybe? But I like Shauna. She's nice. Not winning any awards, but you know, not every character needs to, you know? It is okay for a character to just be, I like this. And we move on with our lives. Tate! Of all of the... I'm gonna put her in B. Of all of the serious sisters, I think Tate's the weakest. Like, sisters. Not everyone's a sister, but, like, in terms of, like, between her, Katria, Fiora, Vanessa, I think she's kind of the weakest of them all. Like, doesn't really have a lot interesting going for her other than being the serious one. I guess her crush on Klein is cute, and the crush she develops on Alan, in my opinion, is cuter. But, still just not much there. Just kind of serious. I think I might actually. I can't say I enjoy her as much as I do those ones up there. I can't in good consciousness say that. Juno, though. What is it, Yuno? What the fuck are you localized on? I love Yuno to pieces. Like, I love her relationship with Zealot. That whole, like, dynamic they have of a genuine friction between them because Zealot's just not around to raise his kid because he's always out working. That's, like, sad but relatable. Her teasing him in a few lines is really nice. He's just like, why are you fighting? Shouldn't you be at home? And she's like, what, you don't like my fighter outfit? Like, you don't like seeing me in a short skirt? And he's like, no, I do. I like that. Fucking love that line. Almost no one's seen it, because who the fuck uses Zealot other than me? It's nice. Her supports with Noah is really good. That whole, like... She's just like, damn, Noah, you're depressed. Have you tried getting laid? Which I think Zealot does, too. Not Zealot does, too. It's funny. And her relationship with her sisters is nice. The mom one. Alright. Maybe at the start of this, I do like the mom one the most. I don't know. We'll see. Florina! I'll admit, I never got the hype behind this character. Like, okay, she's afraid of men. Alright. Great. I have nothing. Like, I can't think of... Let me think. Her supports with Lynn are alright. It's a friend trying to... It's very similar to Roy's supports of Walt. Two friends, but one friend, Roy/Lynn, is now a noble, and Walt/Florina can't talk to them like they used to. It's about heirs now. It's just not as funny, because Roy... I might get flayed for saying this. Roy has more charisma than Lynn, and his line to Walt at the end is way funnier. I don't know. And then her supports with Farina and Fiora aren't that interesting. I don't like Sarah very much, so the fact that Florina has a support with her, eh. I don't like Ninian, so that support's a bust. I just don't like the people Florina supports with. Oh, except Hector. I love Hector. Why do people love the two of them? Their entire dynamic is her trying to talk to him for 3 conversations. Like, what? They share like 2 lines of dialogue between each other. I don't get it. I don't get it. This character has a lot of appeal. What I do like is Fiora. Fuck. I'll put her in A for right now. The series personality is the one I like a lot. I love her support with Kent when they're both like, men and women intermingling? I cannot stand for this. And then they hit it off and fall in love, and they're just like, maybe men and women can intermingle. That's a fun, like, sure, now it's fine. I really like her backstory with Farina. Like, the reason she's so in debt is because she broke a contract to save Farina's life, and now Fiora's, like, fucked because of it. That's an interesting backstory. Her support with Geets is one of the best in the series, but that's more for Geets than for her. I should definitely cover Geets on the show someday. Then, who else does she support? Her support with Pence, not amazing. It's nice, but it's not incredible. Fuck. Her sisters, Kent and Pent. Geets. Ella Wood. It's alright. Like, nothing really noteworthy. And then, Sane. I don't like Sane very much, but I do like that her support with Sane is like the only one where Sane isn't a fuck. He's like actually competent in that one. Oh, yeah, there's Isadora support. I guess a little hard on Sane. But I like her. I like her a lot. Solid backstory, solid supports. That's all you need to be good. Farina has a similar story to her sister. The trade-off is that she's a bit more comedic. Like, literally she goes to Carla and says, "Don't you go ooga booga?" Which, I think that's supposed to be like a jab at Native American stereotypes, and that's what Farina thinks it is. But weren't the Sacaeans based on Mongolians? Or is it kind of like, I've heard some people say it's Native American, some people say Mongolian. Regardless, Farina's accidentally racist, and that's hilarious. She's fun, but also has the serious backstory that Fiora does. And again, that's the reason Farina's so obsessed with money. She wants to help her sister, because Fiora is suffering because of Farina. That's really nice. I like these two. That's another problem I have with Farina. It feels like she's just the third one. Because all the backstory, all the relationships with the sisters are about these two. They're about Fiora and Farina. They're the ones that have the connection. Florina's kinda there. But I guess I can't be too hard on that considering I'm about to get to Sacred Stones. Vanessa! I love Vanessa. Solid, serious character. Solid, solid. Like, I really like that trope of, oh my goodness, no one can know my secret love. Meanwhile, every fucking person knows. Her crush on Inez is just like, no one will know. And fucking everyone. Mulder, Ford, Serene, they all know. They all know. I like how her serious nature is given Ford to bounce off of. That's very nice. And Loot. Oh, excuse me. Like, it's a very solid, like, if there were any characters you gave Vanessa to, Loot and Ford, very good. Like, that's her trying to make sense of Loot is charming. Her trying to deal with Ford's bullshit is charming. And her relationship with Inez is nice, too. I love Inez, so it might be biased, but you picked a good choice in men, Vanessa. Very solid. My one fucking question is, why the fuck doesn't she have a support with Tana? She can triangle attack with her. It's like the only one in the GBA games to not support with each other. It's really weird. Anyways, Tana's S. I did a whole ass video on Tana. So I'd mostly be reiterating my points from that one. Solid personality, not much backstory, but really solid importance in the story and how she's portrayed in both routes. Solid relationships with her brother, with Erica, with Ephraim, with Cormag. It's just all good. Everything about this woman is good. Like her a lot. Now watch that video. Right now. Please. Anyways, we got Serene. She's as likable as her sister. She's the mom of the group. And much like how Vanessa is given, like, really laid back, or not laid back, what's the word? Like, a laid back Ford for her super seriousness to bounce off of, and the really weird Loot. Serene gets grumpy men to bounce off of with her very sunshine, tender mom personality. Mulder, Gilliam, Kyle, all really sweet supports, all really nice. Yeah, my one complaint with Serene and what holds her back from S is kind of the complete lack of a backstory. Like, she has some history with Kyle, but that's it. Not much for her, and I like my backstory. But still, I like Serene. Solid mom. What are her supports again, in case I'm forgetting something? Kyle, nice backstory, cute interaction. Gilliam, I love them. A lot of people love them. There's a good reason. Mulder, kind of, and Vanessa's nice sibling thing. Who's her fifth? Fuck, does she only have 4? Tana, also very nice. Again, talked about that in Tana video. All good. Hold on. Are you watching this video and yet you're not a member of the FEMS paying Patreon? Well, maybe you should fix that. For as low as $3 a month, you can get your name written in every video the guy makes, in addition to, if you want to pay a little bit more money, get your name shouted out in every video, such as B. Schneer, follow Pen to the North Star on Twitch, Great Riek, Green Brigand, Kieran Morin, Nember, Ranger Man Sam, Rory O'Carroll, Ryan Walter, Drew Hack, Brentendo11, and Steph D. If you want your name added to that list, consider clicking the link in the description below and giving me money. Or just give me money in general. That's pretty cool. Alright, back to the video. And then we have Marcia. She's the peppy one, which was good. However, she manages to be a bit more distinct than the other peppy ones because she's fucking hilarious. Her insults, top tier. Her hatred for her brother, wonderful. Her supports and personality, charming. Marcia is the kind of character that's not all that deep. She's kind of just collecting her brother's bullshit. Poor her. But she's just so funny and so charming. You don't care that she's not that deep. Like, again, I like my more complex characters. A lot of people really love her, would put her in S. I get it. Not my kind of character, but even I, Mister, if you don't have 5 pages of complex backstory, I'm not interested, can like Marcia. Solid. Like her a lot. Tanith. People really like Tanith, and I gotta ask, like, why? Like, she's not terrible, she's the serious one, but a lot like Tate, there's just... she doesn't do much. Also not helping that Path of Radiance, some characters have, like, no supports. Tanith has, what, Oscar and Marcia, I think? Third one, maybe? There's just not much to her. Just serious. One of her reinforcements tried to fucking kill me in my FE9 Let's Play, and I'll never forget it as long as I live. Till the day I fucking die, I will bitch about that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, okay, they are dealing with that Swordsmaster. What? 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 Why? What? What? Why would... yeah, excuse me? What? Oh. We have a traitor. There is an imposter among us, and it is that yellow person. It's yellow.
But yeah, that's it. People like her, that's fine. I don't dislike her, I just don't her. Elincia, I'm really, really torn on. Much like Est, I got a similar problem. If Path of Radiance was a standalone game, she'd be like, hey, Radiant Dawn exists. That bogs her down a lot. Alright. So, like, I get the idea. Okay, so in Path of Radiance, she starts out like this Guinevere character from Binding Blade. She's the princess, she's the damsel, she talks to the main lord a lot. Through her, the story progresses. She herself doesn't fight. She is a strictly narrative character. She breaks the mold from Guinevere once Joffrey's life is about to be sacrificed. She throws away logic and is like, we gotta save him, we gotta go help him. And then she's like, I can't rule like that. If I'm going to refuse to let people die, I need to stop that myself. So she dons her Pegasus, gets her staff and her sword, and is ready to go out and fight. That's great. Genuinely amazing character development, solid character, I love her. Radiant Dawn sets up something similar. Before, she couldn't stand the thought of Joffrey dying. She loved him, she couldn't let him go. In Radiant Dawn, she also loves Lucia, like the 3 of them are 3 peas in a pod. And Lucia's about to be executed by Ludwig. And she's like, you know what? Fuck it. If Lucia has to die, so be it, but I won't cower. If they actually fucking went through with that, she would be an S right now. Radiant Dawn fucking pusses out like a little bitch and saves Lucia. That pisses me off to no end. Elincia doesn't develop. She's not allowed to, because they take away the consequences of her actions. It's the same problem I have with Ninian coming back to life with Ellawood. That's a topic for another time. You can't have a character go through an arc because of something, and then remove that something. Like, how powerful would Lion King have been if after Simba comes back, Mufasa just comes back alive? Like, sure, Simba still went on the journey, but would the impact still be the same? No. How strong would Land Before Time be if Littlefoot's mother came back to life? Like, you can't just have a major moment and then yoink it out from under the character. That's stupid. That's dumb. Maybe I care about that more than other people. Everyone has those tropes that they really fucking hate. Maybe I'm just being too harsh on it. But I can't stand that trope. I can only think of one game off the top of my head that did the whole, haha, nothing bad ever really happened, everything's good. Right? And even saying what game it was will spoil it. It's a visual novel, and it's the second game in that visual novel series, and that's about as vague as I can be. But, Also, I don't consider her a lord. Clearly, she's here. And that's a topic for another time as well. Sigurd is also, like... I don't remember this character. Like, I always forget she exists. Like, she's nice. She's the nice to Tan and not nice. That's it. I don't remember anything else. She's just kind of there. Sumiya! She's the klutzy one. There's not much to her. Again, in case you haven't been able to tell, I don't like the sort of... Like, I don't like Awakening's cast. That's been made clear in these videos. Sumiya's not, like, offensive. I just think she's kind of dumb. Like, the whole, oh, whoa, whoopee me, I could trip on thin air. That's not... I don't get the joke. It's not funny to me. Because that's the thing with Awakening's cast. If you gel with the trope, you really like the character. And if you don't, you don't. I don't. Are there tropes in Awakening I like? Yes. Klutzy woman, not really one of them. It's been done a million times before. And it's just not my thing. Again, Sumiya's a kind of character where if you like that trope, she's up way higher. Cordelia! If Cordelia's character was a support with Robin and nothing else, I'd probably like her a lot. This is another trope I don't like. The character who's perfect, but their flaw is that they can't see how perfect they are. Like, Cordelia exhibits this masterful skill range of so many things, from stealth to manual labor to blah blah blah. She's amazing, she's incredible. But oh no, teehee, I can't be perfect. I hate characters like that so much. Again, like every other trope, they're fans of it, they'll like it. It's not my trope. And that's the problem with Awakening's cast, is like, I can't really talk about them very much because they're not my trope. Like, all I can say is, I don't like this trope. And that's it. People that like it won't convince me to like it, and people that, and I won't be able to convince people that like it to not. This is just one of those things. You get it or you don't. So, that's all there is to say about that. I'm making a video about explaining opinions, and I can't really explain opinions. I'm good at this, guys and girls and others and neither. So remember how I said I don't like Owain? Because I think his overbearing theatrics are annoying? Cynthia. She's not as bombastic and annoying as Owain is, but the trade-off is she doesn't have the interesting conversation that Owain does in a scramble like he does. So, pick your poison. Not terrible, just kinda not my thing. Alright, so now we have Fate's characters, and I remember very little about Fate's characters. Tsubaki, he was a perfectionist. I kind of remember him being a dick. But, like, I can't remember if my memory's just failing me. Yeah, I know, I really should pay attention more, but you can tell characters I have a lot to talk about and characters I have not to talk about. I remember him being a perfectionist dick. That's all I remember. Maybe there's something better here, maybe there's not. I dislike all of the weird Fates children that are just characters again. Like, I love Gaius. Asugi, what the fuck? Why? Why not just make it Gaius again? Or make an original character? Kalidori's the same way. I remember her thing not necessarily being like Cordelia, where, oh, she's perfect and can't see it. No, she's working really hard to match up to Tsubaki, who's a perfectionist, and she struggles. But it's weird, alright? All those rehashed characters just come off as lazy to me. I also don't remember much about Fate's children, as you'll remember from, like, every fucking video in this series. Maybe there's more to her and I'm selling her short. If that's the case, I apologize. But, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna put her in C. Because I remember her not being as bad as other Fates. Not even bad as Fates, she's more memorable. Probably because Tsubaki's a dick, so I feel bad for his daughter that has to put up with that. My memory is really hazy on these two. I could be completely wrong about them. Maybe Tsubaki deserves to be an F. Maybe he deserves to be an A or S. Oh yeah, he's a male Pegasus Knight. Only one in the franchise. Good for him. Reina, I really like, and I fucking hate that she's a Corrin sexual. Right now, as we speak, I am working on a Reina video, so I don't want to say too much, because, you know, what's the point of watching the video if you hear me say it here? Just know that she's parry, but not done fucking cringe as hell. And also with a much more likable and relatable backstory. Good. That's where I'll end that. Watch the video that'll come out whenever it feels like. Ingrid! I love her to pieces. Very charming personality. Very good backstory. It's got the trauma. It's got the unlikable actions that are understandable. It's got the character development. I love Ingrid. Like, all the jokes about, haha, Ingrid's CEO of racism, first of all, shut the fuck up. That's Shannon. That will always be Shannon. No one can take that from him. Secondly, like, she develops from it. She knows what she did is wrong. Some people will go, that type of character makes them uncomfortable anyway. I am not a dark-skinned person, so I have no right to comment on that. So, if a character going through a racism arc is uncomfortable for you, even if they stop being racist, I can't tell you how to feel. But personally, I think it's a great arc. Also, she's not even the most overtly racist character in the series. Like, did people forget that Shin fucking shoots at Zeus just because he's from Bern? Like, Ingrid is not even in the top 5 most racist characters. She's not even the most racist character in her game. Hilda's right there. That's for another story. Very cute supports. My favorite is her and Dimitri's nice. Her and Ignatz is good. I like her and Claude. Her and Dedue's very sweet. Just like her a lot. Charming character. And, is anyone else in Three Houses a Pegasus Knight by default? Am I forgetting someone? I feel like I am. No, I'm not. Petra's an assassin. Bernadetta's an archer. Dorothea's a Gremory, I think. Or is she a mortal savant? Mercedes and... Yeah, no, it's just her. Which means we're done! Wow, this list was overwhelmingly positive until Fates and Awakening came around. It's not always like this for me, I swear. I like Wyvern Riders, not Camillan. Sure. Look, I try not to be an elitist, but there are some things I just don't like. And the casts of Awakening and Fate... No, Fighter. If I ever do Fighter, I will gush to high hell about Arthur and Charlotte. Anyways, let me know what class you want me to do next. Or if, like, this is the one. Like, these are the opinions. You can't fucking believe I put Ingrid in S, Cordelia at E. This is where we need to stop before I embarrass myself further. Let me know if that's what's gonna happen. But, other than that, thank you guys very much for watching, and, well, see you on the next one. If it happens. I wonder if I should do something other than characters. Maybe, like, weapons or something.